Okay, branding page. Your branding guidelines. To explore variations on a brand theme while respecting the brand standard is both challenging and rewarding when well done. The purpose of the brand standards is to protect the visual personality and attributes of the brand, which distinguish it from its competition. If the design strays too far from the brand attributes, consumers may confuse it with something else. To work within the client's brand parameters while embracing the needs of the brief require finding the right balance. Consumers learn about a product and a brand through their visual experience of it. A package shape is a fundamental part of the brand's characteristic. It delivers messages about the product and provides a memorable foundation on which visual and emotional values are laid. The fact that a bottle shape can be trademarked and registered is proof of its perceived values. So these are all like packages that you remember because of the shape. You remember this product. Like if I say Pringles, you automatically know what that looks like, or Hershey's Kiss, you automatically know that. We'll do a branding guidelines page before beginning any work on our 3D designs, and in the end it should look a little something like these. You can add a particular element if it's important to your brand, but the general rule is a mission statement, the logo in black and white and color, a specific color palette, and specific typography. I really liked one thing she did on there. She had those 5 words that describe her company. I feel like that's always good at helping you stay on brand. That would be a nice addition if anybody wants to put that on there. Creating a branding guideline will help you when you start working on a product range, as we will in this class. The product line is extended by varying the brand theme, but staying true to commonalities within the brand's core attributes. Your branding guidelines will include the following. Color. Color is one of the first design elements consumers observe. It makes the strongest impact. Color changes should be reserved only for the highest level of differentiation. The color selection of your branding guidelines will include the color palette that must be adhered to on every single product. Choose approximately 5 colors to work with and make sure you love them because we are going to work with them all semester long. If you were in graphic design 2 this morning, you have seen this. This is a foolproof way to choose your colors. You start with your boldest color. You pick that color, and it sort of is the most eye-catching color on your design. And then you go across the color wheel to pick a complementary, and you can neutralize it, gray it down a little bit, tone it down, or bring up the saturation, whatever you want to do. It doesn't have to be like tone for tone. That would be good. But choose a complementary color. Then add a neutral. Everything needs a neutral just to like let your eyes rest. So we'll need a neutral color. And then choose your dark. It doesn't have to be black. Navy blue works well, brown, dark greens, they all work well for your dark. You need a dark because you need to put text in usually, and it needs to be readable. So that's where we think of darks. Those other colors, none of the other colors here would work very well for typography. And then choose 1 or 2 light colors just for highlights, and it'll just support everything else really nicely. So that's a nice, easy way to create a color palette. Your brand's logo should be shown in both black and white and any acceptable colors, along with any lockup variations that are appropriate. So sometimes you have a logo that can just stand on its own, the logo mark. Sometimes it has to be with the logo type. So you have to see the mark and the type together. Sometimes you can stack it. So in this case, maybe the UA would be on top of the MIT Undergraduate Association. Maybe it's only supposed to be on the left, but that's for you to decide when you're doing your logo, and then you need to call that out in your branding guidelines. Okay, next you will choose the appropriate typography for your brand. Is it a serious business? Then think about a serif. Is it new and modern? Try sans serif. Select at least 2 typefaces that have a nice range of weight for you to work with and that also work well together. If you are struggling pairing typefaces, visit, I'm going to give you a website. I can link it later in the chat. It's https and then // typ.io, and search for one of the typefaces that you're sure of, and that'll be your good starting point, and it will list a good pairing. Or you can just Google what typeface pairs well with, whatever typeface. Try to give yourself fonts from 2 different families, like a serif and a sans serif, to give you just a little bit more option. And then at the bottom, you might want to include any photographic styles or illustration styles or design elements that you should keep your brand on track. And so by the end of the semester, we should have several pieces that all look like a family. Paired together with the branding information about your product or store and their competition, you will have a well-informed idea of the proper design choices to make your product saleable and the best way to communicate to your target audience.